Welcome to the Cruising is Life podcast. Whether you're a seasoned cruiser or just starting out, we have something for everyone. So sit back, relax, and get ready to set sail with us on the Cruising is Life podcast.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Cruising is Life podcast. Welcome back for another weekly episode. Today we've got a fun cruise news topic as the world's largest ships, world's largest ship class, well, maybe by tonnage at least, not, number of ships, but we're getting more world's largest cruise ships here in the next couple of years. Very, very exciting. The usual culprit of such a thing. But yeah, Royal Caribbean has placed an order for the fourth ship in the Icon class. But that's our topic for today. Welcome back, our co-hosts, Justin and Dimitri. Welcome back, guys.
Hello.
So yeah, it's, Icon's kind of taken the industry by storm this year. And, it seems like everybody's highly, anticipating the star of the seas already, given it's only been a few months for Icon. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Icon 4?
I think it's great. These ships are very successful, dating back to pretty much any of them, but really the Oasis class. So, it's going to be great for the company and to make more money and to have a lot of these ships in different areas to have different options. But I was hoping they would announce something about the smaller class, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
I will take more Icon class announcements any day.
Yeah, for sure. And I think with that, next project or whatever it is, that smaller class, I think that's probably going to be something that we see later on. Later, either 2029, 2030 at the earliest. And then I think they're going to fill out the rest of the 2020s with Icon and Oasis class, it seems like.
Yeah, pretty much.
Looks like Jim in our chat here is on the Carnival Firenze right now. I thought that was really cool to point out that they're on a ship right now. Hope you're having a great cruise.
Must be nice.
I'm very excited for Venezia. I saw her last week. But anyways, back on topic. I thought that was super cool that they were on the ship already, or watching from the ship. But yeah. Anyways, back to the Icon and the Oasis. The Icon's only been out for a few months and it's already incredibly popular and everything like that. And then of course Oasis has been popular since day one.
Yeah, there's something about those ships. They're complete game changers. And basically Icon class is what do you consider a modern day Oasis class? If they were the Oasis class now, it'd probably be that. But yeah, it's definitely a nice, good ship that they built.
Yeah, I've kind of been saying it for a while now, but now that I've sailed on Icon as well, like you mentioned, it's like it just made a modern Oasis class. It really feels like they took the ideas and all the stuff that they thought about during the Oasis class Project Genesis. If they were to revive that and start completely from scratch, but I guess technically in 2016, is when they ordered it, at least, or placed the order. I think if they would have made, that project, Project Genesis now, that's probably what Oasis would look like, is these Icon class.
Yeah, absolutely. They're pretty close. They definitely took ideas from the Oasis class and modernized it. So, yeah.
Yeah, it really did feel like a modernized Oasis class, and it felt like, the Oasis class is probably one of the best ships out on the ocean right now, but there are flaws. There are small little things, about those ships that they probably could have done better. But I feel like with the Icon, they really took those small little nitpicks and just small things about the Icon class and or about the Oasis class and just took care of that, put that into the Icon, and they pretty much just made a new and improved Oasis. They made it, they took everything that they did well and didn't do well and made it even better.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Do you think, so I know a couple of days ago, some information got released about changes that are happening to Star. I don't know if I talked to you guys about it. What do you guys think about the Face ID rooms, or
Oh,
at least
yeah.
part of them are being Face ID rooms.
So we'll kind of like go a little bit further into it, but I feel like all the stuff that they announced was very vague, which is very funny to me. But pertaining to the Face ID, like you mentioned, I mean, I don't see a benefit to it. Me personally, I don't see a benefit to doing Face ID. That just, I mean,
print out a picture of Justin's face and put it up to the thing, and it's gonna unlock the door. I'm gonna go steal his new fancy watch, and then you'll never be able to find me.
I just keep a picture of Justin in my wallet at all times. I just don't do it on cruises.
Pookie? Oh, I love that. It's funny because I carry a picture of you in my wallet. But
Good stuff.
okay, so going back to the Face ID though, how would you buy anything else on the ship? You would still need like a room card, So what would be the point?
I would imagine it's the same thing as like checking out through the terminal on on debark day. Is probably just walk up there. They probably just hold a camera up to your face, I would assume. But like, that seems so much more of a hassle than saying, "Hey, just tap your card."
Right.
Like, what's the point of doing Face ID if the card is just as fast, or if the card holds the same purpose?
Or why didn't we expand the wristbands? Because I feel like that's very popular on
That-
Princess and doing very well.
Yeah.
They love it.
They
Why
did
is
that
that
on
not on
Harmony
board?
and Symphony.
Everybody got those.
I didn't
At-
get one.
At first,
yeah,
yes. But after COVID, they got rid of them. I think it was after COVID, or it was like shortly after maybe Symphony came out. They like just went to cards instead. Maybe that's
Well,
when
they
they started
still-
doing the tap cards, though.
Yeah, they still have them. You just have to pay for it.
Yeah, which is
it's like
stupid.
$10.
Because that used to be. I thought that used to be like in your room. I don't know.
Maybe I don't remember.
I don't know. Yeah, I wish they would have just. I mean, the bracelets are honestly, if you're trying to keep people from having to carry around a key all the time, then the bracelets kind of. I mean, having something you wear on your wrist at all times. I mean, Disney does it.
Yeah, it's very nice.
One thing I noted, I only tried it on Symphony, but I'm assuming that this would technically work on Wonder, Utopia, and Icon. But I tried it getting on the ship or like getting into my room for the first time on Symphony. You can actually open your door from your app. You can tap it against the reader, almost like an Apple Pay. But you have to go into your app on Royal Caribbean. It did work. I just never tried it on any of their ships, and that was only one time I did it. I prefer the room keys.
Yeah, me too.
But like, also, I mean, I'm sure the Face ID, the argument is like, oh, it's gonna be quick and easy, and again, you don't have to fumble for your room key all the time out of your pockets. But like, how much time is that actually gonna save? Because like, even an iPhones are fast, but it still takes you a couple times, or like a second maybe, at the most. But is it really that much faster than just tapping your thing?
I don't know.
Unless
I'm a fan of the room keys. I wouldn't care if they had it. I think that'd be pretty cool to just like walk up to your room and get let in.
do the little anime
but-
pose or something like that.
Yeah. But then how would that be set up? Would it be you? Because you have. Well, I guess you have to take your picture. When you check in, so they
Right.
could just.
I mean, you
pull it
have to
from there.
anyways. Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah, that's true. Huh.
I don't,
Interesting.
it feels like it would be. I mean, obviously, I'm sure they won't roll that out onto Star of the Seas if it's not ready or if it's not perfect. But like, I mean, if that's what they want to do, I mean, I just feel like it'd be very interesting. Like, unless it's lightning fast, where like before you can even like as you're just looking and stepping into view of the door, if it's like that fast, then sure. To where like before you can even reach for the handle, because you got to reach for the handle anyways. So it's like
Right.
you've got to. I use the same hand. I tap the room or the door, and then just push down on the handle with the same hand my card is in. So like,
right.
unless it's quicker than that, which is fast, I don't see a reason to do it. But at the same time, if you're gonna try to roll out really cool technology, that's That's something to do.
Yeah, it might be more just for that to say that they have it than
Yeah.
officially at this point.
I think it's more of a flashy new tech on their,
Yeah.
Royal Caribbean loves their tech. I mean, ever since the Quantum class rolled out originally 10 years ago, they've been really all about like trying to do, smart technology on their ships.
Right.
Yeah. Carrie even says, why can't we use our smartwatch paired with the cruise line app? See, I mean, like I mentioned, like you can do that with your phone on some of the newer ships, but like even that, like, I think even you can do like a Disney annual pass. Like you can put instead of like a Magic Band, I think you can do an Apple Watch to it.
Yeah.
So like, why can't you do that with I mean, if that's the technology one, I think we would benefit more from having the ability to open the door with our watches. Like they said, I think that would be more beneficial than a Face ID.
I agree. I would prefer that more than
I actually
Face ID.
really like that idea.
Yeah.
But yeah. What are your thoughts on it, Dimitri? You're kind of quiet over there.
Yeah, come on, Dimitri.
All this tech integration, it's great. I would love it. We would love it. But I just fear the fact that if we all move towards that, my parents would not have a single clue how to connect any of that stuff.
Oh my
Johnny
gosh.
that wants to go run and play on the water slides is not going to have the patience for his parents to go set that up. And I don't know. I just fear it's not baked enough yet.
Yeah.
And it's a little too early to kind of jump into it.
I feel like if it's not perfect, then they won't roll it out on Star. Maybe later Icon class, like 3 and 4, and the rumored or the briefly mentioned 5 and 6, but probably later. Oh, they wouldn't tell us. Name me a time that a cruise line has come out and said, "Hey, we've got an option for these ships," and they don't come out 2 months later and say, "Oh, we placed those orders too."
In Norwegian, the Epic.
Well, that the Epic's just a the Epic is weird. That is a special case.
Gotcha.
We don't talk about the Epic.
It's true, we don't.
That wasn't even an option though. They just they ordered it and they went, "Yeah, no." No thanks.
It's a unique
This
ship.
is enough of a disaster already.
But what do you call it? I mean, I think Princess has had it for a while with the smart bands, and you can tap and find your kid, and it's very well.
I do like that. Because I know that was mentioned. Is there's some sort of technology that they're coming up with on how to track kids. Great idea. For one, shouldn't let your kids roam around free, but if they're in like the kids club, then yeah, sure. But I like that idea though. I think that's good to be able to track your kids and make sure they're in areas that they say they're going to be in. Because I know I was mischievous. I told my parents I was going to the arcade. I was all over the ship.
Brandon,
what do you call it?
I was doing all sorts of stuff.
I'm telling your mom. I can't believe I'm hearing this.
My mom's probably where I get it from.
Yeah, you're probably right.
my parents actions when they were in their teens are the reason why they were so strict with me in my teens. They even said it themselves.
I love that. I really do.
They're like, we're strict with you because we know what we got away with. We know what you're capable of. But yeah, I mean, I like the idea though. I mean, being able to track kids is, one, it's a safety thing, and two, it's peace of mind.
And the other thing is I know on like the new Sun Princess or whatever it is, there's like cameras outside of the room, and something where it's like a screen by the door where I don't know exactly. I'll have to go back to that TikTok video, but
yeah, almost like a Ring doorbell type of deal.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, yeah. See, that's cool because then you could be like, if it's a room guy, then be like, oh yeah, cool, hey. But if it's like some random drunk guy walking down the hall that's knocking on your door, then like, just
if it's me, don't answer.
Leave it closed.
And I'm also very surprised that even on Wonder, I mean, it was probably the same on Utopia. why don't they have the buttons on the inside of the room for the do not disturb in the makeup room thing like Norwegian has had since 2012?
That is
I do like those.
weird. I do like that. I mean, that's such a easy thing to integrate, but like it's weird because they do the old tradition. I mean, Carnival doesn't do anything. It's just like knock knock, coming in.
We're coming in.
But, put your clothes on, coming in. But like, you know, you get like this old like raggedy looking magnet on your door. Even the magnet on Utopia that was 3 weeks old, the magnet was like worn out looking. So
Oh my god, really?
but like, I mean, it's always a worn out looking magnet that's on any Royal Caribbean ship. It just doesn't matter. But like on Norwegian, like Dimitri mentioned, like it's just it's a button on the inside, and it lights up a certain color on the outside. So it lights up red if you don't want somebody to come in. You don't want the room steward to come by. It's, I think, just white if you don't have anything pressed, and green to come in. Like that's
Epic was a little wheel, a little game.
Like a little spin wheel?
Yeah, it was red for don't disturb, yellow for make up the room, and green for like make it ready for bedtime or something like that.
I'd be Wheel of Fortune spinning that thing all day.
Yeah, whatever we get is what we're gonna get today.
My ADHD would have a blast with that.
Yeah, right? Oh, show.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of tech, and I'm sure a lot of the tech that they talked about and a lot of things that they talked about with Star just the other week is probably going to end up being on Icon 4, you know, and there's a lot of, you know, we'll get into like all the possibilities that we could see with that ship too. But yeah, like I mean, other than like, yeah, the Face AD and stuff like that, everything that they talked about in that announcement about Star recently was kind of vague, and also just something I would have kind of figured they did anyways. They're like, oh, we might change the restaurant, and there might be like 1 or 2 restaurants that get swapped out, or different types of foods in these areas. I'm like, that's what I figured you were going to do anyways. I didn't think it was going to be a carbon copy of the Icon. I was hoping it wouldn't be. You know, if it's the exact same thing, like inch by inch, that's pointless. You know, you got to give people a reason other than just a different home port to go on a ship. You know, offer different restaurants. I think they talked about the Empire Supper Club was Icon, but I know they've mentioned a while back that it was going to be like Chicago on Star, but I think they kind of confirmed that they're doing that.
It'll be the same thing, but just a different name.
Same thing, different name. Again, that's
For real.
But I mean, it's at least slightly different, I guess, in some sort of sense. But yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be an exact copy, anyways, of the ship.
Change the water slide colors. That'll do it for me.
Yeah, and call it like Volcano Bay or something like that.
Carnival Vista class.
Call it Typhoon Lagoon.
Carnival Vista class. We're looking at you. Literally, just the only way you can tell those 3 apart, because they're so close to each other, is the water slides.
Yeah, do that, or rearrange the lifeboats a little bit. Do something on the exterior.
Yeah,
that's all I need.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, Star's got to be, you know, Star's got to differentiate itself somehow. Not that it's a hard sell for me because I already booked the day it opened, but like, you know,
it's true.
You got to give everybody that was, you know, dire to get onto the Icon, you got to give those people a reason to go back on the next one, right?
Facts.
And the same thing with 3 and 4. I mean, having a ship in Canaveral compared to Miami is, I mean, you might get a couple people, like additional people that like wouldn't do the drive to Miami, but like there's not really that much of a difference in the market that you would get, you know, just for offering a ship that's 4 hours north of the other one. Thank you, Brady, for the super chat, the $6.90.
Do you think Icon class will result in lower prices? No. They literally have come out with articles, YouTube documentaries on why cruising is only going to get more expensive from here.
demand is unbelievably high right now in the cruise industry, and that's why we're getting such big ships, and that's why we're getting. That is the reason, absolute reason, we are getting 7 right now on paper, but I can't imagine they wouldn't do 8 Oasis class ships, and now we have options all the way up to 6 Icon class. There's a reason they're kind of dragging their feet too with these Discovery ships, is because these big behemoths and making so many of them is making them lots and lots of money.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think people are starting to realize, hey, if we take flights, do a hotel, rent a car, go stay and do a water park pass or a Disney pass or something, oh my God, that's more expensive than an actual cruise. I just go on a cruise. But now the cruise is now the exact same price. So it's a hard thing. Mm-hmm. But like before COVID, the cruise was by far the cheaper option. And
cruising was at an all-time high right before COVID too.
Right before COVID,
but
it was like up, and then boom.
It was astronomical, like how high the cruise industry was. But like the demand ever since the COVID restarts in 2021, I mean, maybe 2022 was like an okay year just because of lower capacity. But like starting early last year, I mean, it was just through the roof on how unbelievably popular the cruise industry got. And now that's the action, like that is the legitimate reason why we have Costa ships in Carnival's fleet branded as Carnival ships, because they could not match that demand. And they've got 2 more XL class coming. They've got, these next gen project ships. They've got 3, possibly 4 of them. They can't keep up with their demand, and they're the ones that are kind of falling behind right now. Royal Caribbean, they're just unbelievable with their demand right now, and the Icon fueled that. And like Dimitri said, I mean, yeah, people are realizing that you can go on some of these cruises, be in a new destination every day. They've got giant water parks, they've got all these family style amenities, but they've also got all these amenities for all ages. And I think that's what Icon does best, is that there is something for every age bracket in that ship. Like no matter what, you can be old and senile and on your deathbed, and there's still something for you to do on the Icon. And that's not sitting in the morgue. There's something other than that. But then there's also stuff for 2-year-olds. I mean, it's like no matter what age you are, there's something for you to do on the Icon. There's something catered towards you on the Icon. And again, you're trying to compare flights, gas, rental cars, all these things that factor into a stay at Disney World for a week, and you're still going on a cruise for cheaper, even with the crazy prices of Icon.
Right.
Sometimes.
Right. Most of the time. Some of the rooms may be a little questionable on, how they compare to a week at Disney, but yeah. I've noticed too is that, the Icon class seems like they're not even trying to compete with the cruise industry. The Icon class itself, like the rest of the fleet is competing with the cruise industry. The Icon class, they're wanting to compete with the theme parks, is what I've noticed. I don't know if you've noticed in the promo ad for the Star recently, they took a shot right at Disney. They said, "Don't wish upon a star," aka Disney. That. Sail on it or cruise on it.
I didn't see that. I gotta go watch that.
That is if I have ever seen a direct shot at Mickey Mouse, that is it.
I'm kind of offended.
Down bad.
Yeah. But then, you have that, and then you show the crazy, you have that thing, you got their attention, don't wish upon a star. You're like, oh, that's a Disney reference. Then all of a sudden you see this giant surfside area, kids playing in the background, these massive water parks. I mean, these people are probably going, oh, that looks so cool. Like compared to Disney World. I mean, obviously there's giant theme parks and stuff like that, multiple theme parks and things like that to do at Disney, but I mean, that looks pretty appealing compared to it too.
Yeah. I mean, that's the reason they put Utopia in Port Canaveral too, to run weekend cruises. It's a direct competition with the theme parks. It's smart. It's very smart. You give the consumer the option. Oh, do we want to fly to Florida and stay at Disney for a week, or Universal, or Orlando for the week, or do we want to fly to Florida and go on a cruise for a week and visit different ports and pay maybe less, maybe a little bit less, but if not the same as what you'd pay for at Disney. I mean,
Yeah.
I know what I would do, but
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, we're cruise obsessed and cruise nerds and things like that. So yeah, it's an easy sell for us. But I feel like even to just like the general public, like if you compare the prices and then you go, okay, well, I can go to a different theme park and sweat and have a heat stroke, or
some people like that.
Typical theme park activities.
And yeah, typical theme park activities. But then you go, okay, well, I could do that, or I can be on this massive cruise ship. Some people just don't like cruising. Some people refuse to get on a ship, and I get that. So, like, there are certain people. There's certain ones for certain cases. So, like, yes, I see that argument. But, like, you compare the two, you're in a new place every day, and there's probably 2 to 3 days out of that entire week where you're just on the ship, and the ship itself is a destination. I mean, the Icon, Utopia, I wasn't off the ship for more than 3 hours total, like, that entire cruise. I stayed on the ship almost the entire weekend. But like the Icon, I really could just go an entire Caribbean cruise and not get off the ship and have plenty to do.
Yeah, for sure.
It's its own destination.
That was their goal, and
they nailed that.
They really did.
Absolutely nailed that. But, and so speaking of, so where do you think they're going to home port some of these ships? I know a lot of people in Galveston like to.
No, they need to go away. They need to to themselves. I'm not even allowing the thought to even cross our minds.
I will say, Galveston will get an Icon class. Eventually, yes.
Eventually,
sure. Yes. We'll give them that benefit of.
I would be beyond shocked if they ever got a new build Icon class, though. They would probably get Icon itself before, say, Icon 3 or 4. They would get Icon or Star that are 2 to 3 years old at that point. Nothing against Texas, nothing against Galveston. They got the Jubilee. But I think getting the Jubilee, sometimes maybe gave them the impression of that they're going to get everything new now. Which I don't think is really the case. Same with Disney. Disney's not going to put a brand new ship there either. But like Royal's just never done it before. Royal does see a lot of potential in Texas, but I don't think it's enough for them to put a brand new ship for the first time.
And I mean, obviously Oasis class sails there. I mean, do they have the capacity to put an Icon class there? I would imagine yes.
We'll get probably 1 or 2 in Fort Lauderdale.
Right behind it.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, I think one of them is going to go to Fort Lauderdale.
I wouldn't be surprised if 4 at least. Fort Lauderdale is going to get 1.
Yeah.
I actually never realized this, but because Wonder technically sailed out of Fort Lauderdale in the Mediterranean for a season, but Utopia is the first ship in Royal Caribbean's fleet ever to be straight out of the shipyard and home ported in Canaveral. It's the first time they've done that. Which, yeah, they could easily do that with Galveston, but I feel like they also have gone all in on Canaveral itself, over the last couple of years. I mean, the fact that they put Wonder there is pretty impressive. But, that's because they know it's near Miami and they know it's still Florida. It's still their major market.
Right. Past Miami and Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale used to be the king.
Yeah.
Then Miami took it away from them, and now it's Canaveral.
Yeah, exactly.
But going back to where I think it's going to go, either 6 and 8 Southern Caribbean from Fort Lauderdale,
love that.
Maybe New York, Bermuda.
I do think they'll eventually do it in New York.
Yeah, I don't think, but I mean, will it fit in Bermuda though? I've never seen an Oasis class go to. I don't see why not.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I never really thought of it that way, but yeah, I mean, the Oasis class, they always just go Florida, Bahama sailings, or occasionally they'll do, the Northeast? So, occasionally, but they'll never do Bermuda, though.
That's true.
There are different options for them, but yeah, I do agree with that. I don't think they'll ever go to, Bermuda or something like that. I see them probably not straight out of the shipyard, but I could see them putting one in New York before Galveston.
Oh, for sure.
And
At
it
least
would just be seasonally. They're not going to get a
Yeah,
year-round one.
yeah.
No. Again, it took them years to finally put a Oasis class there.
For real.
And I see in the chat, what if Icon 3 and 4 replace Wonder and Utopia on short sailings?
I think it's too tough.
So I think new builds going onto 3 and 4 nights is going to continue. I think that's going to be reserved for Oasis class, though. I think Icon, they're going to continue to like roll out Icon and Oasis class simultaneously over the next, I guess, throughout the rest of the decade. But I think new Oasis class are going to be dedicated to 3 and 4 nights, and those Oasis class are going to be like purposely built for that. You know, whether it's even if they put Harmony like in Fort Lauderdale on the 3 nights, they're going to do Oasis class focused on the 3 nights, I think. And then the Icon is going to just always do 7s, maybe even 6 and 8s. I love the idea of doing 2 of them in Fort Lauderdale and running them 6 and 8 alternating. That would be incredible.
Yeah, that would be wild.
I would love to see that. Royal Caribbean, please do that. But yeah,
One
I
of those
think
ships in Aruba or whatever. Oh, that'd be so cool.
that'd be so cool.
And something different. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly. I mean, I feel like doing, not only is that the ultimate like family vacation by going on the Icon, but like, or an Icon class, but like you're going to freaking Aruba and Curacao. Like you're going to the
8 days
exotic.
St. Kitts and Barbados or something.
They do go to St. Kitts, but yes, Barbados is so hard to get to because it's so far out there. So yeah, I mean, if they were able to do, I don't even know if they would fit in Barbados. I know it was a really tight squeeze for the Quantum class. But yeah, I mean,
No, make
it
it
would-
work.
if they could, yeah, we can make it work. We've done it in Virtual Sailor, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're
Um,
good.
But like, it'd be really cool to like offer, you know, more adventurous itineraries for these instead of just going to Cozumel and these, you know, the three same places every week. Yeah, I think part of it isn't even because of it being so big that it can't even get into these places, because a lot of places can now. It's the same dimensions really of the Oasis class. So it's not like they can't get anywhere, because the Oasis class can get into a lot of places too. But I think, you know, if they were able to go longer, it's just more of, I think they purposely do 3 ports on these Icon class because you really need 2 to 3 sea days to really experience the ship and actually enjoy the ship.
Yeah, I agree. I would like to see, now I know Coco Cay is the big reason for these weekend cruises. You know, they all pretty much stop there. I would love to see the 4 nights on any of the ships go to Cozumel. You know, sea day, Cozumel, sea day, but just occasionally. It doesn't have to be all the time.
Utopia has one sailing that does that. One single sailing it does it. It's a 4-night Monday
Really?
to Friday, and it goes to Cozumel and back. That's it.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think
You
that's
wanna
out of the realm with the new beach club that they're doing there. Or
like-
maybe
yeah.
do like Nassau Sea Day, Cozumel Sea Day back. That's a 4-day.
See, I think they're also probably going
Or
to go
that's
all
like-
in. I think they're going to go all in because by the time that the new Cozumel beach break, you know, the Royal Caribbean private area that they're building, kind of like Nassau, that'll be done by the time Icon 3 comes out. I mean, I could easily see them doing a 7-night itinerary for Miami on Icon or Icon 3 or whoever that goes Nassau for the, you know, for the Royal Beach Club, Coco, Cozumel, and back, like the rest of sea days to experience the ship. I mean,
That'd be
One-
an interesting one to say the least.
I think it would be really cool, but they would also be able to monetize the hell out of that too.
Oh, yeah.
Because I mean, if you're going to places that make them money like that, I mean, Coco Cay, I mean, unless you're just gonna go to the pool, I mean, you got to pay to do something. You got to pay to go on the jet skis. You got to pay to do the water slides. You got to pay to do the zip line, and I mean, even the adults only area, yeah, it's only like $40 or anything, something like that. But like, you have to pay to do a lot of things on Coco Cay, which is not the most consumer friendly thing ever, but at the same time, it's good for them.
Like going to
Exactly, and I could probably guess that they're going to do that in the Royal Beach Club. You probably have to pay a fee to get in there, just because
Sure.
you're in a normal port like Nassau. It's not like you're already in a private island, so it'll probably cost
Right.
you maybe 20, 30, $40 to get in there in the first place. And so if you do that in Cozumel, then you're pretty much getting, say it's $30 per person. You get the average family of four, so that's $120 per family. You multiply that by these 6,000 passenger ships, so probably maybe let's say 2,500 to 3,000 families. That's like a crapload of money. I'm not even gonna try to do that in my head because it's crazy, but like, so you're basically getting 120 bucks times 3,000 just to get into your own exclusive areas, and that's not even including anything that they spend on board, and that's not even including their cruise fare. You know that I mean, they can make a lot of money off of that, and yeah, that's why Royal Caribbean's right now is the way that they are, but it's working for them. People are still paying.
True. That's the reason they keep raising their prices.
That too, yeah. Yeah, I like the idea of Icon 3 home porting in Miami, though. I see that in the chat, though. I mean, I would say that's likely going to be the place for Icon 3. Icon 4, Fort Lauderdale or Miami. Something's going to move to Fort Lauderdale at some point. I'm sure Icon eventually will go to Galveston, but it'll be Icon that goes there. It won't be a new one. But especially once 5 and 6 come out, they're going to eventually get one over in Galveston. I just don't know which one it will be, but I don't think it'll be a new one. But
Agreed.
I think, especially with 5 and 6, it'll be just like the Oasis classes right now. One in Galveston, one in Canaveral, 1 to 2 in Miami, maybe Fort Lauderdale, seasonally, and then up in New York, something like that. So with that many ships, there's a lot they can do with it.
Right.
The idea of Asia is interesting. I think I saw that in the chat earlier. I don't
I don't think they would.
I don't
I
think
think
we're
they
going to see
would
that
get
with
an
an
Oasis
Icon
class
class.
first. If they're going
I
to do that, you need to get Wonder over there first.
I think Wonder is of eventually, I don't know, maybe it's also just convenient that Icon or Oasis 7 comes out the same year that Wonder is due for a dry dock. And it's, who knows if they're going to focus Oasis class ships on the 3 and 4 night itineraries, why not replace it with Wonder? And Wonder is like halfway still okay to go to China, so like, why not?
Right.
So
Yeah.
So, question, Brandon, did you ever get off the ship in Nassau when you were on Utopia the other week?
yes, ironically, I actually spent more time in Nassau than I did in Coco Cay, and because Coco Cay was just ridiculously packed. But
I was gonna say, how was it with all those people?
so
I'm only
with
asking because then how enticing does that make it if you're on a royal ship? It's a busy day in port. Oh, I don't want to go to the beach. I'll just go to the beach club and pay.
right, so with Nassau, it wasn't that bad. That was 6 ships, and they were like pretty big ships. Other than the Elation, they were pretty decent sized ships.
Mhm.
Obviously 2 Oasis class too. But Nassau didn't seem too bad. Nassau's also built for that. But
Mhm.
with Coco Cay, I've been there with 2 big ships. I mean, I've done double Freedom class. I've done Freedom class, Quantum class. Freedom and Oasis class. Those typically aren't that bad. And I've even noticed with double Freedom class, if they're both on weekend itineraries, it's crazy packed there. It's because they're on weekend cruises. That's one of the only stops everybody's going to get off.
Right.
But I've noticed, with the same thing, but if it's a ship that's on a longer itinerary, it's usually not as bad. So I noticed, and with that in mind, having double Oasis class on the 3 and 4 night itineraries, it was brutally packed there. And it was also, half of it was really the heat, because it was, blazing hot. I was drenched in sweat before I got down to the end of the pier. Like, it was so hot that day. But like there was tons and tons and tons of people. And
that's
again,
something
both
to
being weekend
expect during the
cruises, everybody's
summer,
getting off.
so,
Yeah. To be
unfortunately.
expected. Yeah. But yeah, it was a lot of people there that day. I don't think we're ever going to see two Icon class together, and I think they purposely make sure that Icon and Oasis don't end up together for that same reason.
There's a billion of them now.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to happen eventually. That's going to be so cool to see.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna have theoretically 5 Icon and
Six.
6 Icon, 8 Oasis class ships, you know.
That's going to make up so much of their fleet. That's insane to
Yeah.
think about. That's over 10 ships over 200, over 10. So, I mean, okay, so I'm picturing in my
14
head.
ships. That's wild.
I'm picturing in my head 8 Oasis class ships because they've always done them in pairs. That's my reason for saying 8. But 8 Oasis, 6 Icon. So, yeah, that's 14 ships. Theoretically, if they execute all of these options, that's 14 ships over 200,000 tons. That's like almost 3 million tons worth of ship.
Wow, you did that math so quick in your head. Are you sure that's correct?
I work in finance. It's close enough.
I agree then.
I don't have Excel in front of me, so I don't really know. I have to run that through Excel if I know if my finance senses are tingling. But like that's, I mean, in my head that's close to like 3 million tons worth of ship. I mean, 250 a piece. I mean, that 4 Icon class is 1 million, so
Very smart.
very smart. But yeah,
Depends
I
on
mean
the day.
that's a lot of ship.
Yeah, that is.
So that's a ton of ships. And then that's only, I mean, they still have all the Voyager class, they still have all the Freedom, Quantum, 5 Quantum class. You know, they've got so many others. They're gonna have like 30 ships to operate here in the next couple of years. I mean, it's insane.
I mean, I definitely think the
Something's gonna get
3-year
retired.
Grandeur, you know, those guys they're on their way out. I think.
Yeah.
they-
Thank you, Brady, for the
kinda-
super chat again.
we love you, Brady.
Brandon the Human Calculator Barker. I love it. But yeah, like you said, the Vision
I
class
think
are on their way
it's a
out.
matter of time.
Yeah. Those will get it replaced by a different class of ship. It's not like they're going to replace them with an Icon class, but yeah, I mean, those are on the way out the door though. You know, and they have plans to get those out of the way with different ships. But yeah. So that's even more ships to operate. Yeah. Take 5 out of the question here, but there are 5 small ones. You're still going to replace it with 5 small ships, maybe more.
I don't think
Right.
Jewel class is going to be going anywhere though. Or Radiance
Yeah.
Classic.
I don't know what they're going to do with that.
Or
Right.
World Cruises. I feel like there has been more media surrounding that than any other cruise.
That's
Or at
almost
least on
done.
my feed. I know
That,
it's
like-
almost done. They're in Iceland. They were in Greenland the other day.
That like ends next month. Their very last stop is Coco Cay. That's actually kind of
It's
sick.
Coco Cay.
Of course it is.
Oh yeah, why wouldn't it be?
I thought they started there, but maybe not. Maybe they did. Maybe they double dipped over the span of
I
100
think
something
they did.
days.
I think it did go to Coco Cay.
That's kind of cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, that's a really cool. It was their first stop. Okay, yeah, that would have been. I mean, that's pretty cool having your first and last stop on a world cruise. They've been gone for like 9 months. That started last year.
That's crazy to think.
That's insane. I would love to do something like that. I'd be thriving. I probably couldn't do daily vlogs from it, but that would be
Oh
super.
my god, could you
super
imagine
cool.
trying to edit all that?
No thanks. Editing all these ship spotting
People
videos
stop
and the
watching.
Utopia, yeah, I'd get bored of myself.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to keep up with my own videos that I make right now, and I only post like 2 to 3 times, sometimes 4 times a week.
Yeah.
I can't even keep up with myself.
Yeah, there's like one girl on like TikTok and Instagram. She like does
Yeah.
a vlog every day. I'm like, oh
See,
my God.
TikTok's easy. That's so easy. They're like a minute long, if that.
No, she makes them pretty long.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, she like where the ship.
I
is,
think
or
my
she'll, like,
sister
record
watches
the
those.
captain's announcement. Yeah, it's like a.
Yeah, because they're kind of younger. My sister keeps sending me stuff of like, oh, like this girl is on the world cruise. They're like doing like a study at sea or something like that.
Oh, are they?
I don't know. That's what I was told. I didn't look too
Oh,
far
got
into it. I wouldn't be. I mean, might as well take your college classes online and go abroad on a ship. I mean, might as well.
Yeah, I'm
Kind
in.
of cool. I'll go back to school for that. I don't
Me
need
too.
to, but I will.
Why not?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so we've talked about, just Icon class in general, the home port possibilities and things like that, or possible itineraries. What are some of the names do you think we're gonna see with these?
Yes,
I gotta bring it up. If you think it's Legend of the Seas, you're probably wrong.
I'm not going to say that I know that it's Legend of the Seas for number 30. If it's not, but it's Legend of the Seas.
I think we'll see Idol at one point.
I think we'll see.
I love the idea of Idol. I like that. The funny thing is, I have been directly told that Legend of the Seas is not it, but Dimitri has also been told directly that it is. So like
And
somebody's
I haven't been told anything.
one of our sources are wrong, and both of them are within Royal. So that's the thing. So I don't know what to tell you. I mean, we've been told by complete opposite things on the Legend of the Seas name situation. We've been told yes, and we've also been told no by people from Loyal. They're trying to find the leak. Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Busted.
I mean, like, why would you rename the ship though?
Yeah,
That is
I don't-
true.
If they're gonna do that, they need to do it on a different class and start with it, and not
Right.
just in the middle of the class.
Right. I don't know why you would go. I mean, yeah, it fits into Icon and Star, but like, Legend is. You've already used Legend. It's an old ship that I don't know where the heck that thing
I mean,
is
it
now.
kind of goes with the theme that someone's like an idol.
It does.
Someone's a legend.
Right. I like Idol because it's 4 letters and it sticks to the theme still. A Star and Icon are also 4 letters. I think Idol would have been perfect. I think maybe we'll get Idol eventually. I don't know if it'll be 3 or 4, but I think we'll get Idol eventually. I like it. Honestly, like out of all the names, like there's a lot of ships lately that I've been like, I don't really like the name of that, but I actually like the idea of Idol.
Me too.
Like Utopia, I did not like the name. I was like, I hate that name. I'll still go on it, but I do not like that. But like now, I'm fine with Utopia. I'm fine with it.
Thank God.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, thank God. And God forbid I go on a ship.
Brandon's okay with it.
I don't like the name of this ship. I'm not gonna go on it. I'm still gonna go on it anyways, but I don't like it.
Yeah, but I don't like it.
But I mean, yeah. Ooh, wait, what are the
names?
other?
What was the other ones in the basket that they patented?
I've seen Joy of the Seas that was patented at one point.
That's probably a probable one.
I've also seen the Valhalla of the Seas. That sounds like a map from
terrible.
sounds like a
That's
map
not
from
happening.
Halo
I don't know
3.
what a Valhalla
Imagine
is.
trying to spell that out in big lettering.
That would be down. That'd be worse than Symphony.
It'd be the whole length. Yeah, it'd be the whole length of this shit.
I'm pretty sure Valhalla was the name of a map in like Halo 3 back in like 2005.
And if it wasn't, it certainly sounds like it would be.
It definitely seems like it would be. But like, yeah, I that's definitely a name that I hope does not come around. But like, I mean, yeah, Joy of the Seas I think would be kind of cool. I don't know
Joy of the Seas, yeah, that's cool.
I don't know if that would be an Icon name, but it would be a good one. Maybe that'll be Oasis 7. I think that would be Wonder Utopia Joy. That could work.
Yeah.
Like other than like Idol, I mean, yeah, Legend, who knows about that one, but like I like, what else would you name these ships other than those 2 names? Because again, 5 and 6, when is the last time they cruise line's never gone through with an option? So like,
I mean, I personally think one of the Oasis ones will definitely be Melody of the Seas.
I do like that. I always
Yeah,
thought Wonder would have been.
from
I always thought Wonder was going to be Melody.
Melody is definitely going to be one of them.
Harmony, Symphony, Melody. But I guess if you start the new pair, then it's a different. Harmony, Symphony is the pair. So I guess that's why Wonder and Utopia.
So do they? Well, you know what? Never mind. I was going to ask if they switched the design of it a little bit, but that's not our topic.
I mean, yes, I think they will, but yeah, that's not our topic. That's a topic for another day. That would be a cool topic, actually. Like what to expect.
No, I don't think like
Yeah.
Oasis Plus. We're not getting any bigger.
Yeah, that's all. That's also the thing. Like, is Oasis 7 gonna get bigger? It always has been. Even Utopia was bigger than Icon or Wonder.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
What
all
if
a
they did?
mystery.
What if they did the next Oasis class ship in the middle, like size wise? They just made it slightly bigger than the Icon class by made it actually 250 rather than 248. If they just went, yeah, let's make it a couple of feet longer and just take the record back with the Oasis class instead. That would be so crazy to do, though.
Yeah.
There'd be no point in doing it, but it would be like a funny thing they could do.
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot of potential with the Icon class, and I think they should kind of differentiate these, as they continue, and obviously they're going to evolve just like the Oasis class did. I'm wondering if they're going to kind of pair them a little bit as well, kind of like they did with Oasis. I don't know if they will.
Now that's interesting. I don't know if they will because they're coming out so quickly behind each other. Whereas like Oasis and Allure was 09 and 2010, and then Harmony and Symphony didn't come out until 16 and
18.
Was it? I was gonna say I think it was 18. So
Yeah.
and then even between Symphony and Wonder, I know COVID played a part in it, but it still would have been a few years.
Yeah, I mean they ordered Wonder back in 2018 when Symphony came out. And they also ordered Oasis 7 when the last of the pair came out. It's coming a little bit sooner than, all of the other pairs have come, but they always order them in pairs. But with Icon, they have not done that because they obviously ordered 3 to begin with, so it's not like they're... Oasis and Allure were their own thing, Harmony and Symphony were their own thing, but with Icon, it's, they ordered the 3. Now they have 3 more, quote-unquote, 1 or 3 more to go. So I don't think, unless they do triplets, but I doubt that. I don't know what.
Interesting. I wonder what they would be able to change though if they were going to do it like that.
I think they will change the design over time, yes, but I don't think they're going to be paired up quite like they did with Oasis. Is very unique on how they've done it.
Yeah.
But yeah, to your point, I don't know what they could change on the Icon class. How do you make that better?
Right. I mean, and at the same time, I couldn't see it with Oasis at the time. What could they do different? But then, obviously, as they did stuff, I was like, oh, okay, that would make sense. Expand this, expand that. But you can't just expand the Aquadome. How would you redesign that? You can't, redo. You can't change up. I don't know. That was the main thing I was thinking of, but it would just be interesting to see what they would be able to change.
Yeah, unless they just make it longer or they just change up. Yeah, I
like an Icon Evo
I have no idea.
class. That would be.
Yeah, and
that's
speaking of Evo, that's a term that MSC uses, so I'm going to bring this up now. I'm going to say this for the sake of the podcast, but I know I sent it to you guys. Did you see what MSC is cooking?
Yeah,
270,000 tons.
Are you kidding me?
That's insane.
Oh
dude.
my god!
What the heck? I thought World Europa and all that was big enough.
270,000 tons. That's 20,000 tons bigger than the Icon. That's insane.
You know for sure one of those ships is coming to Miami with that new terminal.
Oh, with the new terminal.
Absolutely. That's going to be like an 8,000 passenger ship at minimum.
That's insane.
Should be illegal.
270,000 tons.
I can't even picture that.
Think about what they could do with 20,000 extra tons.
On top of Icon. That
Yeah.
I will go on the maiden voyage for that. Like, I'm saying it now.
Good time like that.
Pookie, we're like, if this
2030.
order goes through 2030, we're going on it.
All right, I'll clear my schedule.
Clear your schedule. Sorry, Rachel, I'm making him make more bad financial decisions.
Maybe we might have a kid by then. Who knows?
Oh boy.
Can't go on the cruise with one of those.
Nah, I'm leaving that little you know what at home.
That is Mrs.
I was
Hirsch's
gonna say
problem.
something very bad.
That's Mrs. Hirsch's problem.
Yeah. Oh well. I'm sure one of the grandparents would be more than happy to watch my little kid as I
Ugh.
sail on the new MSC ship with my Pookie.
Ooh.
You're going with Rachel? Oh no, I'm going with Brandon. Oh, but you said you're Pookie. Yeah, I know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's me.
He said
I said that right.
Yep. The wife's at home.
Yeah, she's at home watching the kid.
Oh my god. 2030 is
I love
hard to
it.
like wrap my mind around because like 2020 was just like recently,
we're
but
about
like all these new
tomorrow.
ships. But yeah, like 2030 is like right around the corner.
Yeah.
Crazy to think about. But yeah, like, I cannot even imagine. Do you think Royal Caribbean's gonna top that?
They're gonna have to.
Do you think they're gonna like? I see your 270 and I raise you 300. Like,
So I don't know if they'll go that crazy,
That'd be
but
a
I
point
can
where
see
we
them going.
stop.
no. Because
Not.
Royal did it back in 2000. They did. The Oasis had no business ever existing at that size with that amount of tech in 2009.
Dude, it's
The-
great. It was all over the news back then.
The Oasis had no business coming out in 2009. That is a ship that should have come out in 2018. Like, with the way technology was back in 2009, that ship should not have existed. Like, that was so advanced and so great. They should not have been able to pull off the Aqua Theater. That should not have been possible back then with that amount of technology. 2018,
Yeah.
sure.
Crazy.
Like, there's some things on Oasis when it first came out that like they shouldn't have been able to pull that off, but they did. So with that, they went from 160, at the time being, the Freedom class, or 155 to almost like, I would say what, 50%? I don't know the math.
It was
But,
60,000 extra tons.
60,000 extra tons on top of the world's largest cruise ship at that time. When
What's
the
an extra
technology
30,000, right? From 270. What?
when the
300,000,
technology
whatever.
when the technology wasn't there, they made a 60,000 ton jump. We have the technology to do that now, I think. Maybe 300 might be a little far away, but I think 2030 we will see a 300,000 ton cruise ship.
MSC have like something in between though, like something in between the World Europa and whatever they just planned. Like they have something
No.
coming out in 2027, 2028.
I think
I thought there was like something in between.
I think there's just 2 more world class coming. That's it. But
Yeah, you got
I
World
think
America, World Asia, and then something else.
Oh, okay, maybe it's those ones that are supposed to be a little bit bigger.
they might be.
Yeah.
I thought I had heard. I know there were rumors of them doing something over 250. So maybe that was it, and it's finally real.
Yeah, I have no idea. I know they've been kind of like playing around with ideas, but I don't think they have anything on order other than I always thought there was originally 4 and then they ordered 2 more, but I guess there's only 4 of the world class.
Europa ones?
Yeah. So I guess there's only going to be 4 of those, which is surprising. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up ordering maybe 1 or 2 more just to fill the gap. But
Yeah.
I cannot even. It's unbelievable to think that we might be getting a 270,000 ton ship. But I knowing Royal's either going to brush it off and be like, we've got Icon, it's still better, which granted it probably will be. It's given Royal Caribbean, and the world class for MSC is pretty bare bones when you look at it, although they're making a lot of progress and they're adding a lot to the World America. So maybe
MSC in general, though, like they're not all about the glitz and the glam. They're all about the function and the actual ship itself. Like a
Right,
more
exactly.
pronounced and more sophisticated audience.
Right, exactly. MSC is still has a smidge of traditional cruising to them because they're an Italian cruise line. They're kind of all about that. Whereas Royal Caribbean is, of course, the American company, or at least, they have their headquarters here in America. I think they're technically there's some like foreign company, I think, at some extent or something like that. But essentially a primarily America-based company. What does America do best? We build the biggest and best of everything.
America.
Bald eagles screeching in the distance. America builds the biggest and best things, and that's Royal Caribbean's proof of that.
Yeah, back off, MSC.
And then Norwegian will, I think, slither under the water.
Yeah,
but that's the topic for another day.
Norwegian even announced that they're going to have 225,000 tons on their new ships instead of just 200, which I kind of expected that. But if MSC builds 270, regardless of how successful of this next gen NCL ship, this 225,000 ton ship for NCL, regardless of how successful that is, if MSC builds something that's 270, they're just going to fall under. Like, they're not going to obviously go bankrupt or anything, but they're going to fall to the number 4 spot very fast, just because of that sheer capacity of that.
I agree. Yeah.
It'd be very interesting to see what happens. So, but yeah, Icon class though. I guess going back to that, I mean, it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens with the Icon 3, Icon 4. Very excited. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Icons 5 and 6, but only time will tell. But with that, any closing statements here?
No.
Nope.
Lots of exciting things coming from Royal Caribbean over the next couple of years and throughout the rest of the decade. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's topic of the Cruising is Life podcast. If you did, of course, leave a like here on YouTube for those who are watching our live stream or watching on YouTube, and anybody that's listening or watching on Spotify and Apple. Thank you for hanging out. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.